Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday night, which means it's time for Wrestling Fans Insight Wednesday Night Chaos. I'm your host, Carlos Estrada, joined by John Muscleman Hoppe here. How you doing today, John?
Muscle man, I would say more flubber boy. But thank you. I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Someone that we saw, I'm okay. I didn't get to watch Dynamite like I wanted to. It kept cutting in and out, and so I'm disappointed that I didn't really get to enjoy the show. So I feel kind of ill prepared to do this right now, but at the same time, it's like it is what it is. You suit up and you come and do it, and we're here. So we'll see how we do. I mean, again, this is our space, but watch the language. Okay.
Yeah, that's from Cody Squirmer down in Richfield, who refuses to hit that link to go to StreamYard, so it posts his name and picture, by the way.
Did we cuss already?
If you follow that link in the comments in Facebook, you would get your name recognized.
Did we cuss already? We didn't cuss already.
No,
wasting much language.
He always likes to tease me about dropping the F-bomb because whenever I bowled down there in Richfield, and if I was struggling,
you get your Stone Cold Steve Austin on?
I'm a sailor or potty mouth, you know.
Sailor Moon, maybe.
Yeah.
What was that? No. But we're here tonight. So again, we're gonna just see how it goes. I mean, this show's. I mean, we're on X Space. We're part of the Stage Up Network. Hello, everybody there. So again, we'll just take it as it goes. If people join us, you know, it's our show, but it's also this is our what's the word I'm looking for? Platform for other people who want to come and talk about the wrestling product that's out there today. So again, we'll leave it kind of an open book. If nobody's joins us, then John and I will just kind of give our predictions for Full Gear this Saturday. But before we start, and then I'll go over the AEW Dynamite results, because I did get the results down, even though I didn't. It was in and out for me. So I'm kind of upset that I didn't really get to watch the product tonight. But I caught enough to go over it really quick. So we had Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta defeat Orange Cassidy and Hook. Hook took the pin in this one, which I was kind of shocked by, but again, I'm kind of excited for.
Wow. So that's the second time Hook's been pinned ever, right?
Correct. Yeah, he got pinned. He paradigm shift by Moxley, then Wheeler Yuta pinned him. So again, to me, like I don't need to see. That's what I want to see more from AEW. I don't need to see these guys be protected. There's nothing wrong in losing a good battle. So I mean, utilize this guy more in big matches. So again, I think that was a move in the right direction. Then there was a promo. There was the backstage thing with Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, and they were just kind of talking about I'm not the devil, you're the devil, or whatever. It was all right. I'm over the comedy. I mean, Roderick Strong's over. I mean, I went to Rampage and Collision on Saturday, and there was people wearing neck braces and stuff like that. It's over, but at the same time, they just need to limit the comedy, in my opinion, and Dynamite. They need to just get back to their roots. It's almost like everybody's kind of competing instead of competing who could have the best match, it's almost like they're competing about who could have the best joke. And again, that's not the direction this company needs to be going in my opinion. And then they had a promo battle with Swerve and Hangman. Hangman got really personal with Swerve, talking about the reason that his wife and kids left him, or fiance left them, and the kids wanted nothing to do with them. It was pretty intense. And again, there couldn't be any contact with Hangman or Swerve, or else they would be suspended for the rest of the year, I think it was. But he attacked Prince Nana, and then security broke it up. Yes, Sky Blue defeat Red Velvet. Again, no shocker there. She earns a spot in the TBS title match. So it'll be her versus Julia versus Chris Statlander. There was a Samoa Joe defeated Serpentico in a quick match. The Young Bucks defeated Penta and Commander. The Young Bucks, they cheated to win, so they're keep teasing the heel turn, which again I'm fine with. The Young Bucks are better as cocky assholes, anyways. So again, for me, I think that's the right direction for them. Then you have the Guns defeat some more developmental talent. So again, that to me was a miss. I don't need this on a show, right? Again, even though they have Collision and Rampage before Full Gear, I don't want to see developmental matches going into a pay-per-view week. I just think that was the wrong call, my opinion. And then Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Paul White, and Kota Ibushi defeated Will Hobbs, Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Brian Cage. And guess who took the pin in that match, John?
Brian Cage?
Of course he did. Ugh. Ugh, so irritated. I almost want to burn my AEW flag there. But again, huh?
Do you need a hug?
From him, maybe. But but again, I mean, honestly though, like, I mean, I always struggle with the question of who's my favorite wrestler, because I mean, I like so many different people. But for me, honestly, like, that kind of secures to me, like, Brian Cage would be my favorite wrestler besides Max. I mean, Max Caster is my favorite wrestler, but him and Brian Cage are there because again, that's somebody, his wife just had a kid yesterday, and here he's coming to work today to take the pin in a big match. Again, I hope Tony Khan's giving him a big bonus, because here's a guy stepping up to cover for Sammy Guevara, who's not cleared. And here he just had a kid, and he could have played that card, but he still showed up to work and was a team player. And again, he's unselfish with his wrestling. Here he took the pin again. So again, kudos to Brian Cage. Thank you for being who you are. Again, you're somebody that I proudly root for, and again, you're somebody I'd want in my promotion if I was starting one.
Sorry and to interrupt you. I want to give a shout out to Pro Wrestling Reality for being in here in the X Space, joining us.
Hello. And then in the main event segment, they had MJF had a promo thing with the Bullet Club Gold, and it was really just MJF coming out, giving like a face promo, talking about, he's trying to do the right thing now, and everybody around him gets hurt, and just talking about, and then they come out and beat him up at the end, and that's how the show goes off the air. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened on Dynamite. I mean, I know you really didn't watch the show, but listening to what I just said, anything surprise you besides the Hook thing?
No, I mean, really, the problem with having the go home shows is you really need to work on protecting your big attraction talent going into the pay-per-view. And sometimes working some of the matches can be a little deadly. This is where I don't mind the go home shows being more promo heavy than wrestling heavy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, you got a lot of wrestling going on elsewhere too. So you got to also be competitive with all these other shows. But like you mentioned, though, AEW feels like it's been too much focusing on the comedy act, and they really need to lessen that. And they need to start from scratch. This is the time to do it. They need to work on being a pro wrestling company, not trying to be a mimic company, if you know what I mean. And I'm not saying that's what their intention is. They just need to be themselves. So this is where maybe Tony Khan needs to really take a step back. And as we've mentioned in previous episodes, it's time to get a team going together that can help him on the creative level as well. But I think also he could use a good team for talent relations as well.
Yeah, like there's like, I know like not everybody out there too is like as a Brian Cage fan, but I think it looks kind of bad, again, when this guy's posting pictures on social media about his kid, and you had him come back early just to take a pin in a big match, and again, like there's not somebody else you could have had do that and let him kind of sit at home with his family. And then just too, it's just the storyline wise to me, like even like with the TBS match, for example, like to me, it should be a 4-way match with Chris Statlander, Willow, Julia, and what's the person I'm missing?
Sky Blue.
Oh, Sky Blue. Yeah. Like, all 4 of them. I mean, the storyline's been there for the last month. You developed all this TV time, and then you're going to have some hokey, like qualifying matches. And now Willow's out of the match. Like, to me, like it could have just been a 4-way match with those 4 women in the match. And then the story was already there. And so, and again, and then to me, like, it's obviously that you're probably gonna have Julia pin. We'll get to that a little bit. Probably pin Sky Blue, but it's like, again, you can't. I would have liked to see more competitive matches in this. Go ahead, Pro Wrestling. You have your hand up. Go ahead and speak.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can. Yes, we can.
Well, I got to say, I was incredibly excited for tonight's AEW event, and it really didn't disappoint. I mean, we started the event off hot, tag team match, Moxley brawling all through the arena. And then with that street fight, I just have to say, it's all over social media. I thought that was really an incredible match. As somebody who's really a fan of that original Philadelphia style, I'm a fan of that WWE main event street level fight kind of style they used to do. I thought it was incredible. And I have to speak out about No More BS Paul White and that incredible spot that he took tonight. Did you see that, John?
Unfortunately, I did not. I didn't watch Dynamite. Carlos had more of a chance to watch it than I
Well,
did.
brother, if fans were saying that he could hardly make it down to the ring, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll give you a chance to see it for yourself, but he absolutely, for this stage in his career, he broke new ground with what he did tonight, and I just wanted to give him credit for that.
And you know, the thing is too, like, and for me, the thing that like for me that I wish the fans would realize is, but they give Paul White the same grace that you give Sting, you know, and that what I mean by that is, like, you know, like, just because he's not your favorite person, or maybe you don't like the way he's built, like, he still is he's that guy gave a lot to the wrestling business. The guy put over so many other talents. Like, his heart and soul, like, is in the wrestling. Like, he got done dirty by WWE Vince McMahon, who pretty much just told him, I don't have a spot for you anymore. Like, let these guys cook. Like, again, be appreciative of the fact that they still want to wrestle, and they still want to give something. And again, that's a guy who has 2 bad knees. You know, it's like when I was there at Revolution, like, I didn't even go bother him for an autograph because I could just tell that he was in pain. I didn't even like want to like bother him, you know, because I could just, out of matter of respect.
Each time we've seen him in AEW, he's barely made it more than a couple steps from the entrance. But tonight, with the spot that he did, I mean, some say it was troubling. You know, I'm pretty sure it would have been pre-planned or rehearsed, but it was jaw-dropping, stunning what he was willing to do to put a younger talent over tonight. I mean, I think a Big Show really is like that aging grand elephant of the circus. You know, he may be up there, but the fans still want to see him, and he can always put on a show.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's, you know, and then the thing that fans need to remember is there's nothing wrong with these guys going out there a couple times a year to go over matches. It's not like he's asking to be in the world title picture. It's like he's making demands saying, I want to be the champion. You know, these guys are very humble, you know, in the way they want to be. You know, even like Jeff Jarrett, it's not his choice that how he's being booked. Tony Khan's booking him because he gets heat, you know. And again, if someone else wants what he's doing, go take a spot. You know, that's old school wrestling 101. You know. But that whole faction gets like major heat too, so that's why they're on TV more. And they add to the product, you know. And even for me, the thing that people need to realize too is, and again, like the lessons that these other wrestlers could take from Paul White, just his emotions, you know, in his facials sell it too, you know. Like, I mean, I was at Collision on Friday when they were taping it, and he was like a good probably 15 seats away from me. But I could still just see the emotion in his face of when he was being confronted by the Don Callis family, you know, and instantly right there, he got me hooked, you know, and so, I mean, I didn't see him in the ring after the match. I'm assuming that he got taken out by Powerhouse Hobbs. Is that what happened?
Well, do you really want
Yeah, you can just tell us. Yeah, of course.
Well, here's what happened. So I'll break it down for you. So,
please, yes.
I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of thought, you know, he'd get in there, he'd throw a couple weapons around, maybe do a choke slam. But what happened was, so he did come out. He stood on the ramp. A couple of the young dudes run up. He gave a slap. He gave a choke slam to one guy through a table off the ramp. And then what kind of confused me was he started walking to the back. And I at first was like, don't tell me that's it. Like, you know what I mean? That's all he was going to do. And then, brother, the next thing I know, we cut to the back. And Powerhouse Hobbs is on top of some kind of, like, I don't know what it was, a big crate, a big kind of transfer truck thing. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to describe it. But he picked up the giant, just like when Terry picked his father up, and slammed Paul White on his back onto the windshield of a car, and Paul White
gosh,
car onto the ground, brother.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's I retweeted it a couple times, but man, I was just like, that guy he's trying his best with all that he has left at this stage. And I was like in shock. And I wasn't like concerned. I was like, this guy's really going for it with all that he has left.
Wow, that's awesome. So what happened what happened after he slammed him into the car? The car fell down, or he fell down off the car? What happened when he got slammed?
Well, he kind of like broke the windshield and he rolled off the car, and then it was, honestly, that was kind of it for him in the match. They were like tending to him, and then he just wasn't in the rest of the match.
Okay. So let's see. This is like the thing that I think that fans need to recognize too. Like when they first booked this match, they said it was gonna be a street fight. I already knew as a wrestling fan that Paul White was gonna be out. Everything with him was gonna happen backstage, because again, they can hide it better, they can plan it better. And so again, it's like we all know wrestling's fake. So it's like, it's like just like live in the moment and again, it's like just he's not going to be out there doing stuff in the ring. It's going to be backstage, and just appreciate it for what it is. Let the guy cook, for heaven's sake.
Man, the way I think of wrestling is, I don't know if you're familiar with this name. It's like, look at a guy like Steven Seagal. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Big actor.
Of course, yeah, Big E, yeah, of course, yeah.
He's doing fight scenes while sitting down in a chair now, and the fans are still eating it up. It's no different in wrestling with these older guys like Paul. They still have a place. And I think AEW's done a really, really good job with the legends compared to the way WWE uses them. It's usually more based on, well, they bring a guy in, he's the GM, and then maybe it leads into a WrestleMania Hall of Fame package, as I like to call it. They might get a match out of it. But with AEW, it's like they're really, really using legends in such a more dynamic, interesting way that, as somebody like myself who's made a life of following this industry, I mean, I can't say, within the last decade how many times I've been excited for a show week to week. And it's like, we're going to see Paul White this week. We're going to see Sting this week. I mean, but it's getting to the point where that's pulling me in. But then it's the younger guys now that I'm learning more stars. I'm seeing more work styles. And that's really the way wrestling should be.
So I have a question for you again, because I think that I'm loving what you're saying right now, because I think what you're saying right now is what fans need to remember more. So have you been a fan of AEW since the very beginning?
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't necessarily a fan, but like as somebody who's always reading about wrestling, like I'm not like a week-to-week viewer, but I'm very much a fan at heart. I've been watching it since I was a young kid, and I read about it more than watch it. But once AEW started getting kind of hot, like around when they did the Cody Dustin angle, that's when I really started getting on board. And then we were getting those Omega Moxley matches. And then I really became a fan, because I was like, this type of wrestling is way more geared to me as a fan than I think WWE is at this time.
So as a fan, I want to ask. So as a fan, does them bringing in these other talents that from WWE make you more likely to watch the product?
If WWE guys came?
Yeah, like how they brought how they brought over Mark Henry, how they brought over Paul White, how they brought over like the Adam Coles, the Danielsons. Does that make you more? Did that make you more likely to watch the show and get into it?
Yeah.
Or were you different?
I'm very much like a fan of like legends. I mean, I grew up watching when I was a kid from about 95 till about WrestleMania 20. And then I took a long break when I was kind of in junior high school. And then I started watching again around 2010 when TNA had Hogan, and then Brett came back. And I've been following ever since. But what I think AEW does good, and we kind of touched on that with the whole Big Show thing, is they can send a guy like Jake Roberts out. He's not going to do a match. He's not going to, do a title picture program. But brother, when he came out and did that promo, it gave you the belief like you're really seeing the Jake Roberts of the past. You're not seeing the GM Jake Roberts. You're not seeing the Hall of Fame Jake Roberts. This is like the guy coming down, and it gets you excited. And I think they've done that really well with Sting as well.
Cool. And again, and I'm glad that you joined us today, because again, I think that I think as wrestling fans, we need to remember sometimes that again, wrestling does have a wider audience, and again, having those legends on TV, because what you're saying, there's other fans that have been with AEW from the beginning, and they didn't have too many legends there, and they start wins, and now they're the ones that are mad because they're bringing on too many stars. But again, I love hearing your opinion that again that you like seeing these legends and that they're doing a good job of that. Again, I feel so too, and I think the thing about the legends, and I feel like the reason why they can strive so well sometimes in this environment is because they have the training at WWE, and they know how to go and take time away from the younger stars. And so and hopefully these younger stars are reaching out to them to learn from them, because they do have something to offer. And like you said too, just the way Jake does a promo, the way he stares at somebody, the facials, I mean, yeah, he gets me hooked too the minute he starts talking.
Yeah, man, when he came down that debut, like that was an incredible debut. The music hit, Cody had the facials, like this was a guy coming down to beat him up or type thing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like you were just seeing this old man come down. It was like for that brief second you were really seeing him at the peak of the career, and I love how they do that.
So again, as a wrestler, is there anything that you feel AEW needs to improve on, or are you pretty happy with the product the way it is right now?
Well, here's a brief thing of what I've been thinking about WWE recently. I'll try to keep it brief because I've been trying to follow it a little bit more now, and I think there is some good talent. But what I've really noticed is each show is kind of its own thing. I think Raw is really kind of like where the entertainment is, but SmackDown is where the big stars are at this moment now. I mean, you got guys like Logan Paul, you got guys like the LA Knight, and then you have a couple legends in there like Rey Mysterio that are working with these guys, putting in great ring work. But then there's also NXT that might not have the big names, but that's where the work rate is, I feel. And that's kind of what reminds me of AEW is I'm drawn in by the in-ring work, and I'm learning about all these new wrestlers. So I think NXT is great. WWE has a lot to improve on in my books. I think it's really getting stale, but here and there are things in it that get me excited from time to time now that I've been trying to kind of give it more of a chance.
So you watch more of AEW then?
Well, that's the thing. I watch more of AEW because when they post the matches on Twitter, there's way more that actually legitimately gets me excited. I mean, I just watched AEW Now tonight, and now, hey, I'm on Twitter. I'm talking about the show. I'm excited. And I'm interested in hearing other people's thoughts, and WWE just doesn't do that for me. So as a fan, it's kind of like reignited my passion for wrestling, I would say. I'm not like a total AEW diehard, but it just seems as somebody who at heart really does love wrestling, but has kind of been a little iffy about it. I have a weird view on it at times, but it's just doing so much more for me as a fan than I think WWE is at this moment. Like I watched Crown Jewel not long ago, and at the end of the show, I was thinking to myself, I was like, what did that pay-per-view really say that hasn't already been said? Like there was no new storyline. There was matches that were just kind of, But I mean, look at what we just seen on a free television show, and that was like blew something like Crown Jewel out of the water.
So from what you're talking, so is it like, do you like more of the action than you do the story?
Well, what I like, and I'm trying to narrow it down here so I don't kind of ramble on.
No, I mean, again, I'm enjoying the conversation. Feel free to ramble.
Okay. I just find AEW, what it does for me is it makes me want to see more. Like, yeah, it's awesome seeing these legends. It's awesome getting these matches, like from guys like even like Rob Van Dam. We got the Hardy Boys. We got like Big Show. We got Sting. That's great. But then, if you tune in and you sit down and you watch, you're learning MJF. You're learning the Lucha Brothers. You're learning Kenny Omega. And then that's what's going to take you into the next generation. And then maybe one day those guys will be considered the legends. You know what I mean? So I think it has more longevity for somebody. Like, I'm 30 years old, and I'm very jaded by WWE at this point. There's not a lot of stars that I'm like, that guy's in a match, I have to watch that this week. But AEW, I find, does that for me. I mean, Darby Allin. I mean, that's somebody I would have never even known of if I wouldn't have watched AEW. I think their booking sometimes is a little kind of all over the place, but at the same time, I kind of enjoy that because you never really know what you're going to get. I mean, compared to like, we're getting a Dominic Mysterio versus Jey Uso match. I mean, for me, like that isn't getting me tuning in week to week. But like the way AEW does their matches, like, we're going to get Samoa Joe versus MJF or just something like that. I just think they're doing it reminds me more of like the TNA days. I remember when I started watching wrestling again, it was because Bret Hart was coming back, Shawn Michaels was taking on The Undertaker, and then I started watching TNA. And there was lots of legends there, but there was also guys on there that I was learning about. Like I was learning about AJ Styles, I was learning about Desmond Wolfe and all those types of guys. So that's kind of the vibe I have with AEW right now.
So is it more about like the new stars? Like you just like the fact that you're being introduced to all these different talents? Like, because you said you like NXT too.
Mean, hey, if a company can show me a new star, that to me means a lot, because like I never knew who Kenny Omega was. I heard of him, and people were like, oh, he's the best in the world and stuff. And I'm not saying he's the best in the world, but hey, it was exciting to see him on a week-to-week show. And when I was watching those Moxley and Omega matches, I was just blown away. I was like, hey, this really is more geared towards my style. And I'm a big Moxley fan. But hey, I mean, when he was in WWE, I just thought, hey, this is supposed to be the Mick Foley kind of rip-off young guy. But when he did his stuff in AEW, I became a fan.
So then I have one more question for you, Nick, because again, I'm loving what you're saying. Because again, I just think it's just different. It's like, again, I love your fandom. So who are your top 5 wrestlers right now in AEW?
Oh man, that is so hard. Just off the top of my head, I mean, I would say MJF for sure, Moxley, Darby Allin. Who else do I like? I'm trying to think. Did I say Kenny Omega?
No, you did not yet. I mean, you talked about him earlier, but okay.
Omega, yeah. I'm trying to think of non-legends, and I'm trying to think of another guy I like watch. I really like that Penta too.
Penta, okay.
Unbelievable. One thing I think about AEW though is I think they do like with a lot of their tag stuff, they've kind of died it down. But I think there's a lot of great talent that are kind of floundering in that tag scene that I think really should be like single stars. And for example, like I think Kenny Omega again, I thought he was a great heel when he was doing that championship run a while back. I was like, this guy isn't just like a baby face. He can really play a great heel. And then for the last year or so more, he's just kind of been floundering in tag matches. And I'm like, I'd like to see that guy do some singles stuff again. So I'd really like to see them kind of tighten up their singles division a little bit more and kind of stop with so much of the tag team. I mean, tag team wrestling has its place. But I think they really got to stop putting these main event level talent, in these long-term tag programs. And I know you got to agree with me on that.
So here's the thing, on just a different perspective as far as what you just said. And just, again, this is my own perspective on you. And then John can add to it too. And Chris, who's in the room right now. Welcome, Chris, who joins us regularly as well. You want to say hi real quick, Chris?
Stay chub, pay a little, get a lot. NBStream702.com. The only place you should ever watch anything.
Welcome, man. Appreciate you always coming in here and joining us. The thing that I think that about what you just said, the thing that I think that about when I see these guys in tag teams is that to me it means that they're unselfish. And so what I mean by that is that they're not worried like I got to be in the main event, I got to be in the main program. Like they're willing to go and be in a tag team and let these other guys like a Swerve Strickland, like a Darby Allin, like a Hangman Page, like letting these other guys get over. So Even with Moxley too. I'm like you. I like Dean Ambrose because I like Gingers too. But I liked him in WWE. He was my favorite Shield member. But getting to see him go in AEW and actually getting to see him wrestle his style and getting to see him actually cook, and getting to actually see him actually get to use his repertoire, and do the moves that he likes to do, and not say just wrestle that more hard. You just tell his passion, they are artists, and seeing his passion be there and come alive, to me, I enjoy him more in AEW than I did WWE for sure. He's definitely one of my favorites. But again, for him, I think the last year for him, it was about getting the BCC over and getting the teams over and making sure that they had main event pictures and getting Wheeler Yuta up more elevated. So, and again, getting other guys elevated too. So letting Orange Cassidy, who I think really got over the last year as the international champion. It's just giving these other guys an opportunity. So I get what you're saying, but I feel like that's where if Tony Khan was just booking the tag team division better altogether, I think that I don't think you'd mind it as much, but I think that's how I look at it. I look at it as them being unselfish and being able to let other guys have the spotlight and go back and just kind of simmer in the tag team division. But then when it's time to cook, they can definitely step up and go back into the main event scene. Do you have anything you want to add to that, John?
No, I think you pretty much covered exactly what I would have said. I mean, to me, that's kind of basically wrestling 101 right there.
And again, that's just something that I would say. And again, if you're on X and stuff like that, and so you don't see these stories coming around from AEW, these talents complaining about I need to be the main event spot and why am I not getting the limelight and stuff like that. So it is a very team atmosphere there, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And so again, that's how I look at it. It's I want to see these guys as single stars too. Again, I would love if Moxley was the heavyweight champion right now, but at the same time, they're letting these other guys get over because they are the future too. So they're just giving back to the business. And even Darby Allin's one of my absolute favorites as well. He's somebody who even I was almost going to do a question about it today on X, because he's one of those talents that snuck up on me. And just when I was just reminiscing today, thinking about the product, he's one of my favorite wrestlers in all of wrestling right now, because he's won me over with his heart and how he wrestles. So, yeah. So, that was so good, valid points. But again, I just think it's important to remember. And that's just, I think, again, where Tony Khan was booking these guys better, you wouldn't notice the difference. But it's again, to me, when I first started watching AEW, the biggest thing I loved was the tag team division. And it just got kind of lost because they were doing so much, like you said, these mix up, or just there's this they can improve a lot with it, And again, like you're saying too, I would love to see Penta. I would rather see Penta as a single star right now, cooking, going after a title, than seeing him team with Commander, because he's way better than Commander. And I feel like he's being wasted by teaming up with Commander right now, taking losses. So yeah,
would you mind if I add one more thing?
Sure.
I think a lot of what we need to go back to is traditional tag team basics too. And what I mean by that is uniform in a way. The Hart Foundation, Demolition, Private Party, I wish they were back, but Mark Quinn's still out injured. The Young Bucks. I get where Pro Wrestling Reality is getting at with that too. I don't mind factions as tag teams though. When you got John Moxley and Claudio, or Claudio and Yuta, or if it was Danielson and Claudio, at least they're a faction. You can go by the name of Blackpool Combat Club. But when you kind of mix single stars that are mainly known for singles, in some ways, I kind of feel like that does take away from the tag team dynamics.
And then that's the thing. And I think also too, again, where you should have maybe 2 women's matches, but there should just be a tag team match on every show, and again, and they let these guys win the fans over, because I feel like that's something that's been lost too. Before, I feel like in the early days of AEW Dynamite, you would always see a tag team match on the show featuring the tag teams, and then they would just win you over by their action, by their move sets. And that's been lost though, because, and again, it's a good problem to have. Tony Khan has more toys than he knows what to do with, and if he can learn just to balance them out right, the product will be better off. And I think that's again where it should be like, okay, we're gonna let these other tag teams cook a little bit. Have this tag team match on Collision or have this tag team match on Dynamite every week. And again, no matter what the other talent is, you fit it in there. Like even today, you could have had, you could have had King. And again, this is just an example. I know it's not fitting the storyline right now, but again, can they coexist? But you could have like MJF and Moxley team together, as a tag team, against Orange Cassidy and Jay White, something just different like that, because if you're not gonna utilize Wheeler Yuta and Hook on the show, then that's a way to utilize the talents in a match that gets them, and it gets you more excited about the card too. And then for me, I would be doing Wheeler Yuta versus Hook on Collision, and again, that's a match too that I'm looking forward to having added to the card if it does get added, because again, the storyline's been there. But again, it's just being more disciplined as far as that goes, and not being afraid to put more of these guys again. Not Ring of Honor, if it needs to be the dumping ground for AEW right now, like how he has Ethan Page over there. At least they're being given the chance to cook, but not making. Because if you watch Ring of Honor, there's a lot of tag team matches on there and a lot of women's matches that some of those should be happening on Collision and Dynamite, and not just all these other matches. And again, I don't like you're saying, I don't need to see the Guns defeat a developmental talent, and I don't need to see Samoa Joe squashing Serpentico to get me excited about the pay-per-view. I'd rather have seen like a good tag team match, like you said, and letting these guys actually wrestle. Like again, give me a match where I don't know the winner, where it's not going to be such an obvious, decision, like just letting two teams cook and kind of uplifting that tag team division more, So there's just different ways he could do things. And again, hopefully he learns, and like John said already, I think that's where he needs to have more of a team around him to just be like, no, let's do this instead, because if you watch that's one thing WWE does a good job of, like if they're having a PLE on Saturday, on Friday Night SmackDown, they'll have the matches featuring the stars and aren't going to be on the pay-per-view. And that's something I think that AEW could be doing right now, like just having more big matches featuring more stars that the fans are going to love, and just letting these stars cook. Like Wheeler Yuta versus Hook would have been if it would have been the main event, fans would have been going crazy for that this week, and that was, again, just an easy way of booking the show without having to give away too much. So
just a quick question, with Full Gear being Saturday, they're not doing Collision, correct?
It's on Friday.
Oh shit.
So so I'm excited about this because, again, to me, I hope they bring out the Army. So Undertaker will be on SmackDown this Friday, guys. one more match.
We just got that announcement again. We're getting this so often now, but again, Tony is teasing another big star, saying it's somebody that all the wrestling fans that they love. Who do you guys think it is? I'm really curious.
It's Will Ospreay.
It's got to be Will Ospreay. I mean, he's not officially free agent, is he?
He's not, but at the same time, they have. I think that they have enough of a working contract with New Japan to where they can make this announcement now. But at the same time, I don't really think it's needed. I don't understand it. But again, it is what it is.
I find those announcements so exciting because it gets the wheels turning for fans. You're thinking everybody from Goldberg to Riddle to, it's always exciting when he makes those announcements. I know a lot of people kind of roll their eyes, another person, but man, those announcements just keep the excitement levels on high.
But let me ask you this: do you think he uses do you think he uses special announcements too much to where he's burned them out?
Personally, I don't think so.
Okay.
I love them. Every time it just spins the gears. Who's it going to be? Earlier we got Copeland, we got Flair. Who else is there? My dream, brother, is Goldberg. Brought in. And I'd love to see him and MJF do something personally, because what I would really love, I think we're really starting to see MJF kind of in a face mode. I really got that feeling tonight because I don't know if you've seen it, but he did the promo and then he had some people attack him and he was doing it just like Hogan did. getting the punches in, and I was like, we're kind of seeing him in a baby face now. But man, I think it would be so perfect if him and Goldberg did a one-off program for a title match, and MJF got the screw job victory on Goldberg, and then for the rest of his career, he can say, "Hey, I'm the guy who retired Goldberg," but we'll always know, well, you didn't really retire him. You cheated to win. I just think that would just be such a feather in a cap for his character, heel or face.
So you wouldn't like to give Goldberg to Wardlow?
No, I wouldn't have really any interest in that. I think Wardlow is really a flash in the pan. Even Powerhouse Hobbs, I think, is more of a talent than Wardlow is personally. If you want to go for those big man main event type guys, I could see Powerhouse Hobbs having that spot.
So were you into the Wardlow MJF feud when they were having it?
No, I thought that was kind of a downtime for MJF because that was close to that whole thing where he was possibly leaving the company. They did that pay-per-view match where everybody thought he was on the way out, and I thought that aspect of the match really kind of overshadowed that program. No, I've never really been into Wardlow. No, he hasn't really done anything for me yet that's made me a fan. What about yourself?
I love Wardlow. I think he's money. I think he was so hot. I mean, to me, like, if you had asked me a year ago, I would think he was the obvious choice to throw at MJF, and I think he's just gotten cold by his booking. I think I like Wardlow personally, but again, that's the great thing about wrestling. It's like we don't have to like the same people. I have another question for you. If MJF went to the WWE, would that make you watch the WWE more?
Brother, I think MJF, it's the same. I feel the same way about Cody. So I'm going to kind of speak about both of them in sentence here. I think MJF going to WWE would be one of the absolute worst moves of his career at this point. And I'm going to tell you why. Because MJF right now has a chance to really make a mark on a company. It doesn't have to be New York. It doesn't have to be the major number one promotion, but it's a company. And I think he is way better off carving his legacy in a company right now and getting that top spot. He's the world champion. He's definitely becoming a name in this industry. Then he goes to WWE, and I really do think he would just flounder. Like with Cody right now, he came in, he got the WrestleMania match, he got a lot of fanfare. He's doing good in merchandise numbers. But I just don't really buy it myself. I think when he left AEW, it was kind of like, you had a chance here to really carve something out for yourself in this company. And he got kind of lucky with the way things have gone in WWE for him. But I just don't think it would be the same way for MJF. Not yet. I think he's way better off to stay where he is right now.
And so, and then, again, I'm enjoying this conversation. So then I want to ask you, do you think Cody's better off in WWE now, or do you think he should have stayed in AEW? Like,
I think he should have stayed in AEW, but
Uh-oh.
you lost you. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
You mean tornado?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Carlos.
Hey.
So what have you guys been talking about so far? I just came in.
We're just talking about AEW, and I guess I don't know what he got connected off. He was just giving his opinion of liking the legends that are coming in, and again, it was a really good conversation just from different fans' perspective. Was talking about favorite wrestlers being Darby, MJF, Moxley, Kenny Omega, and who was the other one? Penta. But we're just talking about Dynamite. What were your thoughts about Dynamite tonight? Then we're gonna give our predictions for Full Gear.
Basically, I thought it was pretty good. They focused on some points, Full Gear or whatever. The build up and all that's been pretty good for the past few weeks. Full Gear is looking like it's going to be very interesting. But I heard someone speaking, I guess that last person, saying about Cody. Yeah, AEW's loss on Cody or whatever. I think my opinion was a big hit, along with the whole CM Punk stuff or whatever. Obviously, for the past couple months, everything's been kind of downshifting or whatever. But Dynamite tonight, the ending, well, that whole Jericho and all them match, that was pretty good for what it was. It did what it did. They had the little promo with the Young Bucks in the back. But the whole MJF thing, that is got, I don't know, it just got my eye on things because AEW's been dropping hints or whatever, and this whole devil thing, I feel, I don't know what your guys' opinion about it is, but personally, I feel because MJF post defended Ring of Honor tag titles, and it looks like the way they're looking, MJF this Friday on, I think, is it Collision?
Collision and Rampage together.
Okay, so Collision's going to go live head to head once
With Raw, with SmackDown. Yep.
Yeah, SmackDown. I'm thinking maybe MJF is going to take Samoa Joe's offer, maybe, and we're going to see the Devils, the so-called Devil, maybe some help, and MJF will retain one way or another, but we won't quite yet see the reveal of the Devil yet. My opinion, next week on Dynamite, maybe we'll get the reveal of the Devil.
And who do you think the Devil is?
Well, the reason why I came in kind of late because I listened to Busted Open, and Bully Ray has a after Dynamite show after dark or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I told him, I didn't get really much of a chance to really say besides my one opinion, but I'm thinking Jack Perry, maybe, even though obvious they keep on teasing something with Roderick Strong and the Kingdom and them or whatever because MJ or Adam Cole or whatever. Depending on if this injury or whatever is going on with that, they just keep on teasing too much on AEW TV about Cole. But I think Jack Perry would be a possibility that because MJF did say his promo tonight about I'll find out who you are that stole my mask or whatever. So I don't know.
And does that excite you as a fan that it would be Jack Perry? Because that does nothing for me.
Yeah. I mean, depends on. I mean, some people are thinking CM Punk, this is all work or whatever, but
Aren't you those people? By people, as you mean you.
yeah. I don't know. I think a slight possibility or whatever. I mean, that would be like a hell of a freaking turnaround. That throw people like make them just go crazy. But I don't know. They keep on posting these damn Full Gear promos and teasing and teasing and teasing. If you listen carefully or whatever, I don't know. There's something's going to happen. Obviously, I mean we got Collision, so we'll see. And then Full Gear. I really don't think Jay White's walking out with that title. MJF will win because the whole end game is that pay per view they got coming up. Because MJF has his past people still wanting to come for that title, and they've been doing that on AEW TV. So yeah, I don't know. Jack Perry, I think it would if CM Punk is the one going to WWE because he's been teasing like crazy on his Instagram, according to what people are seeing. I just feel that if Punk isn't, this ain't like some big time work of some sort. Maybe Tony and Punk work something out if it comes that way, but I just kind of slightly feel that Jack Perry would get. We haven't even heard from nothing about him. He's not technically released, so I just don't know how it's going to unfold. Like how it's going to fit with MJF or whatever. Maybe Wardlow and all them, and Jack Perry. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of cult. I don't know.
Well, because the thing that's been revealed too is that they said, and again, I know your problems with the Fightful thing, but they revealed on there that that they said that AEW said the people that are in the mask now are the people who are going to be in the group, and you can tell at least two of the people. One is definitely Wardlow, and one is definitely Matt Taven. So it's just interesting to see who could be the leader if those two guys are involved with it.
Yeah, and they keep on. What was it last week? And previous times kept on showing this whole FaceTime call with the Kingdom and then Roderick Strong, and then Adam Cole. They're talking to Adam Cole on the TV screen and this and that. And the one week, the Devil shows up on the screen, and then tonight, Wardlow. They did that little video package, and the Devil showed up. So they're obviously hitting something. But what's the if it's not? I don't know. This thing's been dragging out for quite a while. This is like one of their biggest things they've done in a while. Because if you remember correctly, last year MJF originally had that mask, and he was handed that poker chip by Stokes Holloway. So, and that back then you had Ricky Starks and Big Cat or Big Bill and all and whoever else. Maybe I don't know. There's some kind of plot to that, possibly. Just a possibility.
Well, again, to piggyback on what you just said, I think it is like the biggest storyline going on right now, and they've given a lot of time to this. So to me, like I feel it's got to be a home run. And I don't feel like the home run's Jack Perry. John or Chris, do you guys have any thoughts on that? On who you think the mask could be, Devil person?
I'm not going to say Jack Perry isn't a possibility. I mean, it could almost be anybody. I have a feeling the two biggest culprits could be Adam Cole or maybe even possibly Roderick Strong.
Chris, did you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'll second what John said and said it could be anybody. I don't really have any emotional investment in. I mean, it just doesn't matter to me. I mean, Roderick Strong seemed like the first choice that I thought of, but it really doesn't matter to me.
The only reason why I say Jack Perry, I just don't know how they're going to kind of give him the reason behind it or whatever is because if they kind of tease it this weekend of some sort, still not show, maybe they show the Devil on the screen still, but the culprits or whatever somehow help MJF, or maybe MJF is behind it all or whatever. But that's going to be the only two-way to it is MJF is behind it. He has Jack Perry, and then they could do something later on that Jack Perry turns on him. If I'm just saying, if like CM Punk is definitely going WWE or whatever, but the whole CM Punk work would make sense in a way, even though that was like legalized and all that stuff that went down months ago with him. But I don't know. We had just, in my opinion, I think he might have some involvement. I mean, World's End is in MJF's hometown, so I don't know. It sounds complicated to me. I mean, the obvious answer is something with the Roderick Strong. You're taking my best friend or whatever, this and that. And Roderick Strong is going behind Adam Cole's back, or Adam Cole has some involvement. I mean, there's so many damn directions it can go.
Fair enough. For me, I mean, again, I'm one of those guys where I like chaos. So I want it to be MJF. And again, if I had my choice, it'd be MJF with Ric Flair in his ear, making him the dirtiest player in the game, because I like MJF as a heel, and I would love for it to be him just being the ultimate dirtbag once and for all. And we never see face MJF again. Go ahead, Christopher.
Oh, he's still a listener.
Yeah, I'm still seeing him as a listener. I was wondering if it was.
Hey, Christopher, can you go in and come back out? I think it's something having technical difficulties.
Did he request the mic or?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Oh, okay. I know Pro Wrestling Reality got cut out. I didn't know if maybe he wanted to finish his thoughts from earlier.
Okay, and Christopher, take 2. Let's go. Go ahead, Christopher. I still can't hear him. Can you?
I still show him as a
He's
listener.
still a listener.
Okay, John, I'm gonna give you. Hold on, I'm gonna give you co-host. Maybe I'm having technical difficulties. I invited you as co-host, John. You want to accept it?
Oh dear God, John is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck are you thinking, dude? I got enough responsibilities going on this
I can do
week.
Chris as a co-host. Hold on.
Not too late. Actually add Chris as a co-host too. I'll see if I can get.
And if you guys want to do the mic things, maybe I'm having technical difficulties.
It's always when Carlos is the main host, by the way. Just saying. So.
Oh, because I'm the one who comes all the time.
Oh, now I'm showing Chris as a speaker.
Okay. Chris? Can you?
No, he's back to a listener. 1 second.
Okay.
He may have to actually.
He's going back up. Okay.
Yeah,
how's it going, Sage? Can you guys hear Sage? So you guys approve the things for now. I don't know. Maybe I'm having technical difficulties.
This is why I can't have nice things for the podcast. You keep breaking shit.
Breaking up my own phone?
Dear God, please tell me we're not recording this.
Oh, we are. Oh, we are.
No.
Not only are we recording,
I apologize to anybody listening to this.
By the way, we're not only recording, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.
But when we cut this back in a replay, we'll put in the Benny Hill song.
Yeah, it can be sax.
Christopher, can you talk
on a recording?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
But basically, that street fight, I thought it wasn't going to be that good, but it was good though. Man, I'm telling you, that was a good match. And good spot for Will Hobbs. I call him Will Hobbs. I don't call him Powerhouse Hobbs. But that landing was good to Paul White, man. It was a good match. Even though I wanted the Don Callis family to win, but it was still a good match. And then the Swerve Strickland and Adam Page thing was just great promo, just great stuff, man. And then the women's match was a little fun match, between Sky Blue and Red Velvet. And basically, the things I didn't like was just Samoa Joe's match. And, I don't like those little swash matches. But other than that, it was a decent show. I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it. But I just want to tell you guys, man.
What match are you looking most forward to for the pay-per-view? Chris?
Match that I'm looking forward to the most? Man, that's a hard one right there. I'm looking forward to the between Orange Cassidy and John Moxley and Swerve Strickland and Adam Page. So
go ahead, Tony.
Man.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry. You were done? Go ahead.
And then the women's match, I don't know how that's going to work out with the TBS title, but we'll see.
Well, we're in a couple minutes here. We'll all give our predictions, and everyone else can give predictions too, and we'll keep track, and we'll talk about them on the next show. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, that was pretty funny shit tonight when Adam Page sit there and said the person, you probably be hanging out in the parking lot after the show or whatever, getting your weed off of high school kids. That was pretty funny.
And no, and that the reason why I asked Christopher that question was because off of the just from that promo, like that's the match I'm looking most forward to myself is Hangman versus Swerve 2. Go ahead, Sage.
Hey, I just wanted to give you all a shout out, man. The show's been amazing tonight, and man, I'm just so grateful to tap in with y'all, and anyone else that's tapped in with all my favorite people and wrestling fans insight. Go ahead in the Jumbotron, if you're on Twitter or X, hit that repost and like for my guy Carlos. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe, like and share, Facebook, everything. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate John, Carlos. Appreciate Christopher, and appreciate everyone tapping in.
Thank you, Sage. Appreciate you always joining us when you can, and we know you're a busy man out there, so thank you for coming in tonight.
Can I have your autograph, Sage? I'm just kidding.
I was gonna ask you for years, Carlos. Come on, man.
Okay, we'll switch.
Yeah, Carlos has been the superstar.
So let's just do a quick reset here, guys. This is the Wrestling Fan Insight Wednesday Night Chaos. We are currently live on YouTube, Twitch. We'll be later Facebook. We are currently on X Space Live. We are proud members of the Sage Up Network. Again, we're just happy to be here. Again, thank you guys all for joining us. Quickly in the room right now, we have Chris Haas, who again, Chris is the MVP of our show. Again, he's always here to support us, cover, play co-host, plug it. Again, just kudos to that guy. Sage is here now with us. Christopher is here again. Christopher had our back last week when I was having technical difficulties. Tony Tornado's here again, fan of the show. Jack, welcome in, Jack. If you want the mic, you want to talk, tell us how you're going to kill MJF on Saturday. Go ahead. And then again, pro wrestling. We got pro wrestling reality in here again. Great insight today. Love your fandom. Love what you had to say. Again, just giving a different insight. And again, wrestling fan insight. Just again, it's just fun to have just different perspectives. And again, it just reminds me of being a fan. It's like, and again, I just love hearing from different people's perspectives of what they like in the product. Go ahead, Tony.
I was just gonna also add to. I know. I'm pretty sure Carlos been to an AEW show. I went to Collision recently or whatever, the 69 celebration night for the Acclaimed, and it's my first AEW show and all that. And it was different. I'll just say that much. I mean, obviously they didn't really sell the crowd for like having it packed or whatever, but it was pretty interesting. I did get to meet Ricky Starks and Darby Allin. Darby Allin got to talk to him because he's a skateboarder and he's friends with Bam Margera. I was talking to him a little bit about where I used to live out and used to go to Bam's bar and stuff. Had a nice little conversation with Darby. And also, I kind of noticed AEW, their personal security or whatever. This one guy, I did not catch his name, but he was pretty cool or whatever outside of the arena before the show even started.
Cheeseburger? Not cheeseburger. Yeah, cheesesteak. Cheesesteak. Is it cheesesteak? Cheesecake. Is it cheesesteak? The bald guy?
This guy was like a small guy. Like,
okay, gotcha.
It's not the big guy with the beard.
Okay, yeah, cheesecake. Yeah.
Yeah, the security guy. No, I know who you're talking about. Cheeseburger, the wrestler. Is that who you're talking about?
No, Cheesecake. If you watch his name, the guy with the bald guy, his name's Cheesecake. He's always like I was thinking Cheeseburger, but his nickname's Cheesecake, and he's always on what's his name's Daniel Garcia and the guy from Private Party. He's always on their vlog with them. So that's why I was in cheesesteak. But he's the bald guy.
I don't know. This guy, he told me that one of the bigger higher ups in AEW security, he went to college or something like that, and that's how he got the job. And he was a funny story. He was telling me, and a couple other people that was standing there, or when we were waiting to see who would show up. He was saying how he lives in Virginia, and he was on a flight with Adam Page, and he was like, he didn't realize Adam Page was from Virginia or whatever at first. I guess it was a while back or something like that. And I was like, you didn't realize Adam Page was on the same freaking state from you? Because I guess they're in the same area. They flew out of the same airport. He was like, no. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, I don't know. The AEW show, obviously, if anybody's ever been, Tony Khan comes out or whatever. He came out before Collision and then Ring of Honor tapings. And something that I did notice, which WWE does too, they have seat fillers. That was getting annoying because where I was sitting at, people were getting in the way and stuff, constantly moving around. That was a little bit annoying, but overall the show was pretty good or whatever for what it was. But I like
how early did you have to get there to meet those guys in the parking lot?
Well, consider it was a TV show, I got there pretty early, and the security guy did sit there and say Tony Khan does show up like probably a few hours before the show. He did mention that, and he mentioned about like certain cities, how fans like to show up at the hotel. Because one thing I noticed compared to WWE, only certain people came up to the arena in Ubers or rental cars, and the majority of them were showing up in limo service type van or whatever. So, like WWE, when they came to the arena back in June when I went, they were all showing up in during rental cars. So I'm guessing that's like a little bit kind of a money saver, but I don't know.
I'm just curious, like how being again, if were you there like 6 hours early? Because that's usually I'm curious how early you got there to meet those guys.
Yeah, I showed up like probably around. I actually got to the city the day before and stayed overnight and showed up at the arena probably about I don't know close to 11.
I mean, no, and again, because I mean, again, because I was just curious again, because again, I think that's you have to get there pretty early. So again, I kudos to you, man, because I mean, you're a better person than I am. Because again, I know how early you have to get there to meet those guys. Because I was asking the guys before, and they had said that they're usually there by like 12 o'clock or like 11 or 12 in the afternoon. That's what the time the town has to be there. So again, I think that's awesome of you to get there that early to meet those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like Starks and Darby's the only ones really stopped for people or whatever. Swerve and Nana showed up, and they were like too far away by one of the production trucks, which I think one of the trucks was running, and they couldn't really hear people because like I was kind of yelling out for Nana or whatever because I know him from like way back in the day, and I was some fan or whatever was standing there, and I was like, "Whose house?" And he was like, "Swerve's house." Other fan or whatever, and then I don't know. They just paid no mind really, but they showed up pretty early. Obviously, Ricky Starks did, and Darby. Darby actually freaking came over with a skateboard after he was done.
Oh, nice
stuff. Pictures and all that. Darby skated away on a skateboard back to the little door to the gate area or whatever. But yeah, we watched a lot of people just show up, but the only two mainly that stopped was Ricky Starks, which I was shocked that Starks actually stopped for people. And I told him congrats on his recent title win or whatever, being tag champions. And like I said, Darby, talked to him for a few minutes or whatever. He was pretty cool though.
Again, that's cool. I mean, and again, like, that's the thing I would tell like the fans. Again, if you like pro wrestling, if you want to, like, if you're a fan, like that's another reason to root for AEW, just because you have more access to the roster than you would when you do with WWE. I because of somebody I met at the event. I actually know where they stay and stuff like that. So, but I'm respectful. I'm not going to go there and go bug them in their house and stuff like that, because I mean, I know all the information of where they're at. And the thing is, like, Tony Khan pays for their transportation. So a lot of these guys, they take a big bus or whatever, where WWE, they got to pay for all their own travel and stuff like that. So that's why you see more of the guys with the rental cars and things like that.
Oh, my bad. No,
but no,
I was totally agreeing with you, because like that's one thing I noticed about AEW. A lot of the people showed up in that van, and it was good. I know where they stay at when they come near me. It's the same place WWE stays at, or whatever. That's one of the things the security guy said, that some cities people would show up at hotels and they have AEW security there. And of course, they have people show up to airports and this and that. And like I told him, I said, anytime wrestling comes to town, people usually just hang out by the arena or whatever. If people stop, they stop, whatever. You know what I mean? The security guy kind of made a point across about that, about some cities, like some fans that show up like all different cities. They don't even got to be from the actual city they have shows at. They just show the hell up.
Christopher, do you have something you wanted to say? I know you had your hand up.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say basically, I'm kind of tired. That's why I just wanted to post it to you guys, my predictions. So they're up there in the bio or whatever you call it. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a good night and take care. All right, all of you. Peace out. Take care.
Where'd you put him at, Christopher?
It's up in the Jumbotron. If you go,
it is? Okay. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, so that must be where I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm not seeing it. So if you want to read those ones, then when we go over them. Did anyone else have anything you want to talk about as far as the show Dynamite, or if you have anything quick about WWE? If not, we're going to go into our predictions for Full Gear. But if you guys have anything else you wanted to say?
and please just kind of mind the Jumbotron too, where we have the Wrestling Fans Insight Space rules too. Just please make sure you read through them before you do start talking.
Going once, going twice. All right, we're all good. All right. So,
there he is.
There he is.
So I don't know if I was like, oh, I gotta raise my hand to talk. I was like, jeez. It's like, if you want to talk, raise your hand. I was like, oh snap. But I didn't get to see AEW tonight, but I will watch it back. But I saw from like the from on X a little bit, Rev was match and stuff. I didn't get to see anything afterwards after that, but apparently I see in the Titantron she's gonna be at Full Gear, so shout out to her. You know, I miss Real Velvet, and yeah. So yeah, I have no particular predictions. I just want to see a good card. It's basically what I want to see. Yeah, I just want to see a good card. If I have, I'll say this. I'll say what I would like to happen. I would like somebody to come in there and help. Even if he's a rad bastard, I still like somebody to be his tag partner. So, which is that's MJF. So, other than that, on the WWE side, I would say, I like what is it? Is it 2 War Games or 1 War Games? I don't know if it's like 1 or 2.
They said 1, but it looks like the SmackDown women are going to have the women's war. There's going to be 2 of them. They just haven't announced it yet. 1 men's and 1 women's.
Okay, I think it's going to be like Damage Control versus like Charlotte and Bianca and all them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's what it seems like. So I like the all the women. I like how Triple H has got all the not because of their race, it's because all of them are in Stardom, except for Bailey. Bailey seems like she's left out. She's like, oh, y'all leaving me out, and all y'all speaking Japanese, including the Dakota Kai. So it's like, damn, I feel like I'm left out here. So I what I would think is like they getting the whole Stardom Shimmer, not even Shimmer because Bailey was part of Shimmer. But Stardom group, like every girl that was in Stardom, and have Io Sky in there. And I really think that Io Sky is going to turn, like is going to turn on Bailey, and then Asuka's going to help with the turn on Bailey, and then it's not going to be like, hey, I'm going to certainly turn to them baby face. It's going to be like, hey, you can't kick me out, and then like Asuka's going to be right there, and then running as she looks to run. She smiles at fucking Asuka, and it's like whoa, backing up, and then like they all just go. I feel like all of them are gonna go surround Bailey and just jump him. And, shot the Trick Williams gonna play. They're gonna just play whoop that trick, just start stomping him. So, for funny enough, one of the coaches in Nightmare Factory thought Trick Williams was an indie wrestler. I was like, how, sir? How? This not only do you not know that's totally wrong that Trick Williams not indie as they wrestling in $1 million worth of little performance center is indie wrestling. Sign me up, brother. I say just sign me up. If you think Trick Williams is an indie star, I think that was the most hilarious thing he's ever said. And I don't like the boy. I don't like Luke. His name is Luke Sampson. I don't like him. So
is another rat bastard now? We adding to the list.
Oh yeah, he's a rat bastard because he likes to talk shit. He likes to talk shit. Which what? I don't like you who you talk all this shit. You act like you gooder than what you act like you're better than what you are. But then you talk about all these promotions, but you'll never go nowhere because you're scared because a person like myself and other people will outclass you on the indies. Though you got somebody like Darius Carter, we're out here. Will out wrestle you. You got somebody out here like Jonathan Gresham will definitely out wrestle you. Or not even just that. A person on the indies will out talk you. So he's like, oh, I hate the indies. Well, you don't hate the indies because you ain't never done shit on the indies. The place where you was fucking around people who just because you was big, you thought you was gonna get into wrestling. That's what you thought. But they even bigger guys got more. Some of these bigger guys got more talent. He just don't want to get out, so he wants to talk shit on. The thing is, he wants to talk shit on my friends. He wants to talk shit on Effie. He wants to talk shit on Mance Warner. He wants to talk shit on Joey Janela. I was like, Joey's all over the world, and you still in a Nightmare Factory. Nobody know who the fuck you are. So anyway, that I can get heated about that all night. So I'm trying not to do that. But other than that, so yeah. I think it's gonna be a good pay view. Just all in all, it's gonna be a good pay views from both. So
Go ahead, Tony. What do you want to say?
Yeah. When I went to Collision, I happened to run into some people in the Kansas independent scene because it kind of reminded me hearing Nasty talking about some of the indies or whatever. Some people that was going to the Collision show, I touched base with some people, this wrestling promotion that used to come to Wichita or whatever. I'm going to possibly see about going to one of the shows to this one guy that used to run shows at this like concert type place. I'm looking about getting back into wrestling or whatever. Possibly when the time is right or whatever, and whether I gotta help out ring crew or whatever, security and all that. See about getting my foot back in doing refereeing because I used to do that years ago for a buddy, couple of friends of mine or whatever in Maryland, 2 separate things or whatever. But yeah, I just thought it was funny how, because this one dude, he actually went to, what was it, Dustin Rhodes. He was telling me Dustin Rhodes is wrestling academy down in Texas, and then he was talking about Monster Factory or whatever out in Jersey or whatever. And I was telling him, I was like, well, you're a younger guy, so you better do it while you can, because you got to go to those promotions where, especially out in the East Coast or whatever, get the eyes on you or whatever. So
Yeah, that's just something that Luke Sampson don't do.
Cook him.
I'll put a picture on what he looks like. So in a second, hold on.
No, there's a dude, I can't remember his name, but he said he went to Dustin Rhodes' academy or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. They do shows like once a month in the city or whatever, where the collision was when I went to it. So I told him, I was like, he gave me an info or whatever. I said I'll make it out to a show and go from there. But I told him that I do have some background or whatever. So I seriously want to get back into it because it's been way too long.
Cool.
All right, there's a picture in there. I got the picture of that fucking rat bastard Luke Sampson. I think it's the first picture. I think, yeah, it's the first picture. It's one of the coaches, so you know you can see that, Carlos.
So I have a quick question for you guys. This is the only thing I can have for WWE, and then we'll give our predictions for Full Gear. Is there anybody that you think? Because again, I don't know why they're teasing this again, because we're gonna have Randy Orton obviously teaming with Cody Rhodes. Is there anybody that you could be excited for Shinsuke to be fighting that's not CM Punk for this challenge that he's doing?
I mean, the only other person that I can see is fucking, I don't know, Real Ospreay.
But he's going to AEW. I think that's the signing that they teased already.
I guess I don't know. I don't know what that man's doing. I don't know. I don't know. I want to just be surprised. I just think I just want to be surprised. I don't even I don't even know the whole card of like fucking both events. I know like MJF and Jay White. I know like Ricky Starks and FTR and like the House of Black and that whole thing. But everything else, I don't really know.
We'll be going out in a second, but just anyone else have any thoughts about that? Is there anybody you'd be excited to see come back that could be fighting Shinsuke?
Yeah, Reezy, who are you looking forward to? You go quiet over there.
What up?
What's up, Reezy?
I'm good, man. Who do I look forward to Shinsuke facing?
Yeah.
I would love to. Okay, so I'm going to ask this. Who do I look forward to him facing? Who do I think he's calling out?
Both. Okay, give me both. Because I don't think, because again, I don't think it's CM Punk, so I'm just kind of curious if there's anybody who you think it is and who you think would be excited for.
I think it's right. I think it's either right. He's going for a belt. Shinsuke, whoever he's calling out, it's a champion he's calling out. I say Rollins, but it's very, very possible it could be Gunther. It's very possible he could be calling out Gunther. And we can see Gunther versus Shinsuke at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title.
But isn't he challenging somebody for Survivor Series though, or no?
Is he? That's what
I thought. Yeah.
That's a good question.
All right, we'll have to come back to this maybe on Sunday. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, yeah, about the Nakamura thing.
Yeah,
talking about. I don't know. Supposedly, I mean, like you guys just said, he's supposedly calling out someone. Gunther has a scheduled match against the Miz. I'm pretty sure that's Survivor Series. But when it comes to who he's calling out, if that's what it's leading to, I mean, they've been focusing so much on the damn Alpha Academy stuff or whatever. So I have no clue. I mean, it could be Punk. I mean, obviously the rumor is Randy Orton's going to be the member of the Cody
Cody's team.
Rhodes. Yeah. So like, I I don't know. I mean, it could be Punk, or it could just be whatever. I mean, they got this Monday on Raw, so
All right, again, I'm just kind of curious. If no one has anything to say, we'll move on to the predictions for Full Gear. Again, I'm thinking because of the storyline wise, AJ Styles or Sheamus, but I don't think because I don't think it's Punk yet. But I don't think that really gets anybody excited about the card. But at the same time, I feel like they're just trolling people on purpose too, which again I think is kind of funny. So for Full Gear, and again, if you guys want to give your thoughts, just kind of raise your hand and shout out. Let's talk about the card. So the beginning, the opening match, 0 hour, we have the Guns versus MJF and a mystery opponent. Off of what you got, well, Tony just said, I'm wondering if it's going to be someone in the Devil's Mask just being his partner, and we don't know who it is yet. But who do you guys see having winning this match? I'm going to go with MJF and his partner. John?
Yeah, I think it's going to be MJF and whoever his partner is.
Tony, go ahead.
yeah, like I was saying earlier, I feel this Friday with it being live Collision, and then I'm guessing if they're doing 9 o'clock, well, Central Time or whatever for Rampage, if they're doing that, with Collision being live, they're going to stack the show. I'm sure by tomorrow Tony Khan will be announcing some stuff for Collision or something like that. But yeah, I feel that on Friday during Collision, MJF is going to get it. He's going. It's going to be Samoa Joe, probably his partner, but the Devil's Rejects is going to maybe possibly be the start of how Full Gear kicks off, and with some capacity, because Jay White was the one that got attacked from the beginning, so they're going to keep teasing it or whatever.
So who do you think's winning the match? Or you think it's going to be MJF for them or the Guns?
MJF is my
All right.
possible big guess.
Chris, do you have any thoughts on who's going to win this match?
MJF retains not only the ROH tag titles, but also the AEW World Championship.
Oh, you spell everything. We're going to go see you later.
The guy who said that LA Knight is going over in Saudi Arabia.
That was okay to be a fan for a while. Okay, it was nice to be 10 years old again. Leave me alone.
In fairness, Carlos was just going for the upset for the wrestling.
Yeah, you're the one who switched over with me, John. So you're talking shit right now.
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm talking shit. I was just saying, in fairness, he was going for the points, and so was I. And
exactly.
We lost. But did you mention Christopher's pick, by the way?
No, I can't see it, so you're gonna have to say it.
Okay, so
that's what I said earlier. Thanks for paying attention.
Yeah, so from Christopher earlier, he picked MJF and whoever his partner is as well.
Leroy or Reezy, do you guys want to give your thoughts?
And I'm gonna let Reezy go.
I'll let you go, Lee. I kind of left the room. What was the thoughts on what?
We're just giving our predictions for Full Gear. So we're talking about the MJF, the Ring of Honor tag title match.
Well, I think as far as who's under the devil costume, I'm gonna say Adam Cole. I don't think Adam Cole is really injured.
Okay. I like that theory.
All right. For the tag match, I think it'll be somebody like. I think now this may be out of the ordinary that anybody hasn't pitched. Now I already said David Finlay, but I haven't really like thought about like this person. Like, so it could be one of his old friends from MLW, like his old stable mates, one of his old group mates.
Rich Holiday. What's his name? Rich Holiday. What's his name?
Yeah, that one, or it could be Hammerstone. So you never know.
But you think they're winning no matter who it is.
Yeah, I think it would be either Hammerstone or Holiday, and I think they would be winning. So yeah.
And honestly, for me, as a fan, like what I want to really see in this match is I just want to see the Guns go in there and beat his ass and get disqualified. Because if you're somebody who's in a faction, you should be trying to soften the guy up for your main leader.
Oh yeah, I'll be real disappointed if they don't jump the shit out of her.
Exactly. That's what they should do.
I'll be like, get that. That's what I want me to say. That's what I want me chanting. Get that. Get that rat. Get that rat. Not even rat bastard. Just get that rat. Get that rat. Get that rat. That's what I'm chanting.
All right. So the next matchup we have is Julia versus Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue in a triple threat match for the TBS title. Let's start with you, Tony. Who do you have winning this match?
I'm going to go with, I think it's been long enough since Statlander won that TBS title from Jay Cargill. And they haven't really done much with that TBS title. I want to go with Julia Hart.
Alrighty. How about you, Leroy? Who do you got in this one?
I would like Julia Hart to win, but I feel Statlander will retain. What was it? It's Julia Hart and who else?
Julia Hart, Statlander, and Sky Blue.
Okay. I thought it was just Julia Hart. I would like to have Sky Blue win the championship. Either Sky Blue or Julia Hart, but I'm gonna pick Sky Blue because I think it sets up Julia Hart and Sky Blue though. But I feel like they're gonna have Chris Statlander retain. So.
All right, but who are you picking?
I'm picking Sky Blue.
Sky Blue, okay. King Reezy, who are you picking?
Sky Blue. Well, no.
Alrighty.
Wait, yeah. I'm picking Sky. I got a crush on Sky Blue, so I'm gonna go with Sky Blue.
All right, I respect that. I had just so you guys all know, I had Julia Hart's vajayjay staring at me right in the face on Friday, so be jealous of that, okay? Did nothing for me, but I still want you to be jealous.
You said Julia Hart?
Yeah, her just like staring me right in the face. The way she was positioned on the rail was like, oh, hello.
Yeah, I can't be thinking of like that. That's my homie. Wife, I can't even.
Chris, who do you got? Who do you got in this match?
Oh, I as much of a gambling addiction I have, my 12-step is told me I'm not allowed to bet on this. So who's the champion? Chris
Statlander, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go with the champ. Fine.
All right. And then John, who did Chris pick? And then who is your pick?
Christopher picked Chris Statlander, and I'm going to go the safe route. I think somehow Sky Blue and Julia Hart negate each other, so I think Chris Statlander will retain.
All right, and I'm gonna go. I think Julia Hart's gonna pin Sky Blue, and so I think that's why it's a triple threat match. I think that's why they have it. So it protects Statlander, gets the belt off her, and I'm predicting Julia Hart to win the match. All right. So the next matchup we have is going to be for the AEW tag team titles in a 4-way match. So we have champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus LFI versus FTR versus House of Black. The match of initials besides the tag champions. So with this said, since John had to go use the restroom, so Tony, why don't you start off again? Who do you think is going to win this match?
Well, that depends. Who's the members of House of Black exactly?
It's gonna be Malachi and Brody.
Malachi and Brody versus FTR
versus Roosh and Draglistico versus Ricky Starks and Big Bill.
Oh man, that's gonna be a hard one. I have a little itch that Roosh is going to win, him and his partner, but I'm kind of leaning towards House of Black. That's
All right.
my pick.
Final answer.
It'll be kind of early, but to switch tag titles. But I'm going with House of Black.
All right. Nasty Leroy, who do you got?
In the well, I would like to say I have. I would like LFI, but I'm going to pick House of Black. I would like to see them win the tag team championships, the world tag team titles. So I would say them.
All righty. King Reezy, who do you got?
I got House of Black. I think they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose.
Yeah.
I thought
You mean Starks and Big Bill are gonna lose, right?
Who's
the
the
win?
Wait a minute. Remind me who are the teams in this match?
Ricky. So you got Ricky Starks and Big Bill are the champions, and the challengers are LFI, House of Black, and FTR.
Okay, I got FTR winning.
All right, getting the belts.
Right,
Okay.
we got House of Black losing. We got that. All right.
Okay.
I was like, House of Black losing. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Win first.
With that one.
God damn.
Black loses in his house, apparently. All right.
It don't seem like he's losing with Selena Vega out here,
Right. Real talk. Chris, who do you got in this one?
Starks and Big Bill. I've fallen off the wagon, and I'm back on the degenerate gambling train.
All right, sounds good. That was quick. John, who did Chris pick, and then who's your pick?
Relapse is part of recovery.
It is, absolutely. Amen to that.
So Christopher has the champions retaining. I would say with the way House of Black's been on a tear with everyone lately, I'm kind of going in their favor. I'm going with the House of Black.
Okay. I'm gonna go with FTR to win the belts back. I think especially with the Young Bucks or the Jericho Omega thing, I'm gonna go FTR win the titles again.
And this would make FTR the first tag team to win the championships 3 times, right?
I believe yes.
Because the Young Bucks have only done it twice.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So, all right.
And especially with the Young Bucks turning heel now too, it would make sense that they, go after some faces. So the next matchup we have is Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks. And in this matchup, the shot for the tag team titles is on the line. So let's start with you, John and Chris. Who did Chris pick, and who are you picking?
Chris picked the Canadians to win. He picked Jericho and Omega to win this. I'm going the same route as him. I think Jericho and Omega will win this one as well. And we'll see obviously the unsportsmanlike conduct from the, as you call them, the Hung Bucks. So,
all right. And Chris, who do you have?
Give me the Golden Jets. I'd also like to make predictions about who's not going to win the Super Bowl. Mostly non-NFL teams won't win the Super Bowl.
There you go. Good money bet. Safe bet.
I'd also like to pick me not to win.
You want the American Football League to win? Goddamn it!
Right there, you go.
You want all the teams in the American Football League.
Elimination, and after we eliminate 8 billion people, we can start to really narrow it down.
That's a Bill Burr joke right there.
So Chris has smart money on the Rapture coming in 2024. Okay, got it. Reezy, who are you picking?
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
The tag team match: Chris Jericho and Kenny against the Young Bucks. The Golden. What is their name? Yeah.
Chris Jericho and Kenny.
All right.
Goddamn, pay attention, Reezy. Goddamn, slowing it down.
Leroy, who do you got?
I got Jericho and Kenny Omega.
All right. And Tony, are you making it 6? Are you going to make it a clean sweep until I get my prediction? Who you got?
I'm gonna be the oddball out, considering the stipulation is if the Bucks are putting their title number one contender title reign or shot or whatever for the tag titles that they won a while back. I'm gonna say a swerve and the Young Bucks are gonna win or whatever.
I'm actually with Tony. I think the Young Bucks are going to win. I'll say that they win by the return of Cutler to the ring, because if you notice today, Cutler did not escort them to the ring. I mean, he hasn't been doing as much as long since they've been faces for the last few months. So I'm going to say we get the return of Bryan and Cutler to help the Young Bucks win in their home area. This is the WWE, guys. Come on. So the next matchup we have is Hangman versus Swerve, and we'll start with Tony. Who do you got in this one?
This is a tough one. Considering Swerve's lost some big matches, he lost against Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream, I believe so. I'm gonna go with Swerve. Swerve has to get this one.
And this is a Texas Death Match, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's not really gonna be a death match, but it's marketed.
Yeah. Yeah. So Leroy, who do you got in this one?
Well, in this Texas non-death match, I got
the Barbie Mattel version of the
TV version of death match. I got Swerve.
Right.
And I'll tell you the finish that he's gonna do. He's gonna finish with the chair and a double stomp instead of a light tube.
Right.
Because it's a TV version.
Reezy, who do you got in this one?
Swerve all day.
All right, it sounds good to me. And Chris Haas, who do you got? Are you back on the gambling wagon or what?
Yeah, Contrarian Chris is going the opposite direction.
Of course.
On Adam Page, we're going for a Swerve here. It's a Swerve on Swerve.
Swerve on Swerve.
Swerve on Swerve on Swerve on Swerve.
Okay, John, who do you and Chris have?
Chris has Swerve, but my first question is these two have already faced off and Swerve got the victory, right?
Correct, at Wrestle Dream, yes. I
think this is going to end up going to a rubber match, so I think Hangman Adam Page ends up evening out the series here. Hangman Adam Page will get the win.
You're with me, John. 50-50 booking.
That's right.
And honestly, too, like I think Hangman's going to win this match too. And just for my 2 cents, this is again to me this is where Tony Khan. I wish it was better booking. I feel like this should have just been another regular match with Hangman winning. Then I would like to see Swerve win a third match at next month's pay-per-view, which is still might happen. But to me, the third match should be like the blood feud match, and to me that it should be happening next month. But maybe we'll still see another blood match. Who knows? But I'm gonna go Hangman as well. Okay, so for the next matchup, we have Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne versus Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, and Sting. And we'll start with John and Chris. Who did Chris pick, and who did you pick? Who are you picking, John?
Chris picked Allin, Sting, and Adam Copeland.
Okay.
I think we're going to see a Swerve in this one. I think
Swerve Strickland's going to be in it again? Oh,
no, wrong Swerve.
No.
I think Adam Copeland
turns heel already?
Turns heel or accidentally causes his team the loss. I think the victory is going to go to Christian, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus.
All right. Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm going Contrarian Chris again. The faces. We'll go.
Are you like in a mirror, like and you're turning to the evil side and the good side, like you're like Two-Face right now?
Yeah, no, I'm living on the edge, and Adam Copeland is going to take the victory along with Sting and Darby Allin.
Okay. Reezy, who do you got?
I agree. I think Adam Copeland's turning heel tonight. Not tonight. I think he's turning heel Saturday, and I think he's going to join forces with Christian, and he's going to cause his team to match.
All right. Leroy?
All right, I get my mic unmuted. I'm gonna go with Darby Allin and Sting and all.
Okay.
All right, that's
Yep.
that's their
The good guys.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for good guys, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. I cheer for the baby faces sometimes, you know. I know a lot of people.
You gotta throw a bone every so often, huh?
Yeah. I know a lot of people want to cheer for the heels and shit, but not me.
Alrighty. And then Tony, who do you got in this match?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the detailed win, and that's going to be Adam Copeland giving the spear to Christian, and then you're going to have Darby getting a pinfall on Nick Wayne, and that's going to be the finish. And Stain and Darby and Adam Copeland's going to win this one.
And I'm on the same. I like those. I like that ending. I think it's too early for Copeland to turn heel personally. So I think Copeland, Darby, and Sting are going to win this match as well. All right. So the next matchup we have is Sheeta versus Tony Storm. And let's start with you, Tornado. Who do you got?
Oh, geez. Well, I'm going to go with, I think it's as much as they've been pushing her, and then how Dynamite kind of went and played out. That one chick, I can't remember her name for some reason, but I'm thinking she helps Tony Storm, and Tony Storm is victorious. It's timeless.
Ruby Soho?
No, Mariah May. What's the one from Japan?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Mariah May. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Team Tony. How about you, Leroy?
As much as I like Sheeta and I have a crush on Sheeta, sometimes you gotta go against your crushes. Because sometimes if you meet them in person, they might think you're a creep or whatever, and you'd be like, "Fuck you, then." So now, yeah. So I will go against my favorite, which is Sheeta, and I will say Tony Storm.
Alrighty. Reezy, who do you got?
I'm going with Leroy, where he said
Same exact thing. Right.
same exact.
All right.
You can't tell because he sounds like he's zoned out high as fuck out here.
I'm definitely zoned out, but I'm listening.
I feel like he's doing inventory at a McDonald's somewhere as he's doing this too. That's good. Counting the sauce packets. Like, I gotta shut it over again. Son of a bitch. Chris, who do you got?
Time was Tony Storm with the
All
win.
right. And John, who do you and Chris have?
Yeah, Chris is like the rest. He's got Tony Storm. I'm gonna be the oddball in this one. I want to see Sheeta retain.
All right, and I again for me, I wish this match was. I wish it was Saraya versus Tony Storm because I also think Tony Storm is going to win this title. Again, she was on TV this week. The other one wasn't. I mean, she's been on TV every week. I feel like Tony Storm's going to win the title back. All right, so the next matchup we have is for the international title. The champion Orange Cassidy defending against the former champion Jon Moxley. Let's start with John and Chris. Who do you guys have in this one?
Well, I'll tell you, Heather's picking Jon Moxley, but
yeah,
Chris,
it could be Jon Moxley against the whole AEW roster. She picked Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that's true. Christopher has chosen Moxley to win the championship once again. I'm kind of conflicted. I think I'm going to say Orange Cassidy somehow pulls it off and retains.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, conflicted and contrarian, Chris. I'll go the opposite way from John, just because. But honestly, I think there's a good rationale for both people holding a belt, so I don't put money on this one.
But who are you picking?
Oh, I went the other way from Orange Cassidy. I'm going with John Moxley.
Okay.
So he went with Chris.
The Chris's.
Christopher.
Right. I mean,
Reezy, who do you got in this one?
Zoned out again. Which one?
Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy.
Now, before you answer that, give me
Oh.
my McRib, damn it.
Oh,
He's
God,
stressing out, but that's what he has in his mind, McRibs. It starts tomorrow.
those
He said-
things are disgusting. You eat those things?
No.
Golly.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's from Utah. Of course he does.
All right, so I think this is a tough. I think Moxie's losing.
So Orange Cassidy retains? All right.
I think Cassidy's retaining because they've been giving Cassidy this crazy push to the moon. I just don't see anybody beating him, and Moxley doesn't really need to win.
Okay. Leroy? Leroy.
What are you talking about? I zoned out too.
Jeez. Are you guys hanging out right now and you're just not telling us? Pass.
No. I just wanted to say that. I'm not.
I was just here for the joke. Just okay. We always appreciate a good joke around here. All right.
Just wanted to say that.
But
Okay, I hope this is not too long, but I think I pretty much think, I don't know, that Orange Cassidy is gonna get close, but John Moxley is going to retain the championship, and I think he actually.
well, no. So Orange Cassidy has the title right now. Because remember, Moxley got hurt.
So I think, So I think that I think so personally. I think because they're baby faces now, BBC, as my friend calls it.
I always want to call it that too.
He's like, yeah, I'll just call it the BBC. No, the Blackpool Combat Club. I know colors were popping that one. That was funny.
I'm on Grindr right now. Oh my gosh. Damn it.
So the Blackpool Combat Club is not going to interfere, but I think that now this may be wild, but check this out. I noticed something that everybody probably didn't notice because they too busy I don't think anybody in this room hates him, but there's people who hate Orange Cassidy so much they couldn't see this shit. Like a cartoon, their head gets so red or whatever. I think Orange Cassidy's gonna lose the belt, but also he's gonna lose the belt because one of the best friends will interfere, and he will get mad at the best friends for trying to help him, and then he'll just orange punch like Chuck Taylor or Trent Beretta and turn heel. Because like he literally as soon as he won the belt, he just he dapped everybody up, kind of but then he was like looking at it, and then he was like, bro, we haven't seen you in a while because you've been defending your championship. You haven't spent time with us, so I think he's gonna turn heel. Also, John Moxley is gonna give him this big ass lariat, so gonna come out of nowhere and knowing that I haven't seen the promo, but I can only imagine I'm gonna grind you in the dirt and I'm gonna wrestle you. I'm gonna make you bleed all over the ring of Orange Cassidy. My best John Moxley impersonation. I love John Moxley. This not even I hate because I'm not one of these Cornette fans out here.
I just want to know when you're watching a Moxley match, did you blade along with him?
Oh yeah, sometimes yeah. Yeah, my folks get mad at me when I start bleeding on the fucking sofa. God damn it, Leroy, why you bleeding?
Another John Moxley match, son of a bitch.
Listen. I have a John Moxley match almost every time my nose bleeds. Okay, I have like super bad sinuses, so every time my nose bleeds, it's like a John Moxley match all the time. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Orange is going to turn heel and he's going to turn on his people. He's going to get mad because he's so obsessed with that title. That's just my thing that I saw like when he won it again. So
he's going to retain, right? You said
he's going to not retain. So Moxley is going to have him down, and then like they're going to help him cheat basically, or not try to cheat. They're going to try to help. They're
going to try to help Orange Cassidy. It's going to reverse and it's going to cost him the match instead.
Yeah, backfire and stuff. Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So
Right.
I know it's a little long, but that's my full thing. So
hey, it'd be interesting to see an Orange Cassidy heel turn. I'd be for that. Tornado, who do you got, Tony?
Oh, before Tony goes, I just want to say this. Yo, I just want him to address all the haters and be like, yeah, I know you guys hate me, but I don't give a fuck about none of you guys. I don't care about none of you guys. I'm out here. I want him to say, I'm out here drawing money while you drawing up hate on the internet, and I can give two. I know he can't say fucks on the internet, but I can give a goddamn. Oh, I don't even care about you people because you don't lie. You've been lining my pockets because your kids comes to see me. I just want him to be real cocky with it. Your kids come to see me. Your wives come to see me. You mess around and your girl can be in my bedroom out here.
Damn. Okay.
Just give him
all
to
right.
That.
So he's gonna be he's taking Jungle Boy's gimmick. Got you.
Yeah, because it'll be very nonchalant. I actually be like, all you motherfuckers that hate me, your girl loves me out here. That's what I'll be like. Or because we out here inclusive, your boyfriend loves me too. God damn it!
Hell yeah, we do. Oh, sorry.
Great. Now Carlos is pitching a tent.
I do like my gingers. Tony, who do you got? Let's change the subject here.
I'm actually gonna go with, for the simple fact, even though Moxley was supposed to get a title shot and a while back, what happened, and Orange Cassidy got the belt or whatever. Considering my picks from earlier, there's only going to be so many title changes. I'm going with Orange Cassidy because after tonight, Yuta did get the pinfall. Moxley kind of just stood there, let Yuta get the pin on Orange Cassidy. It's called Wrestling 101. When the person or whatever, like with Moxley, even though it's a tag match or whatever, they got the upper hand tonight. So I'm going with Orange Cassidy because Orange Cassidy took the pinfall tonight. And I'm thinking maybe whether Wheeler Yuta gets involved, it's going to backfire, and Moxley is not going to get that belt back because Orange Cassidy's, my opinion, Tony Khan's one of his favorites, and he also has a crowd behind him. So I'm going with Orange Cassidy.
All right, I'm gonna go with Orange Cassidy too. Like I feel like this is one of those times where I want to see AEW pivot. As much as I love seeing Moxley win the title, I like both these guys a lot. Moxley's one of my favorite single wrestlers, though. But Orange Cassidy is one of those guys who's grown on me a lot. But again, with everything that happened now, I have no interest with seeing Moxley with the title anymore. I'd rather just see Orange Cassidy keep it until they want to put over somebody else. Preferably have him lose it to Swerve. That's what I would prefer to happen. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Orange Cassidy to retain the title now, and then to pivot, because that's what I need to see AEW do more is pivot. So for the main event, we have MJF defending his title against Jay White. So let's start with Tornado. Who do you got in this one?
Well, like I said, from the buy-in with Samoa Joe being MJF's partner and possibly these Devil's Rejects getting involved, maybe to kind of kick things up a little bit, I'm going to say MJF is going to retain because they're going to keep teasing. I'm kind of like 50-50 on this whole devil reveal, but I think there's going to be some capacity of MGF. It's going to be a disadvantage for Jay White and them, or whatever, Jay White. And MJF hasn't had his title for a while now, so even though he's champion, but I'm thinking he's gonna hold on to it because we got the pay per view next month. So I'm going with MJF because the devil always has a game plan.
All right, Leroy.
Like I said before, he's going to have his boy Hammerstone or Richard Holiday. Well, you know what? And I will say this, like Richard Holiday, because he's probably had a change of heart because all the stuff has been happening. He got real sick and stuff. He came back as a big ass baby face. Probably he's done a rat bastard as much as he used to be. I'm not gonna hold you. Hammerstone, I don't really know that much. He seemed like a good dude, even though he rode with a rat named MJF. But yeah, that's what I think about that. But you already know who I'm going for.
Jay White.
Come on now, I don't even have to say that. I'm just giving my commentary on who's going to be in there. I'm like, people be like, I know if somebody else gotta go, like Weezy and them, even if he's probably zoned out. I think people are so fickle to jump on the bandwagon of MJF. Oh, because we can like him now, and he's a babyface. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I tell this to anybody standing, walking, sitting, whatever. Who you are, I keep the same energy. Hey, Leroy, you being a hater. I'll be a hater, but I keep that same energy. Okay, if you're gonna be a rat bastard for once, you always gonna be a rat bastard. No, I'm not saying you can't change, but you gotta really earn my respect. I ain't out here throwing out cheers for MJF. I'm not out here wearing scarves like a douchebag out here. Like for me, you're still a rat. So I keep that same energy. I still say that, Still a rat. I'll say it to his face, even though he'll block me like a little bitch. Because that's what he is. And a rat bastard, but mainly a rat bastard. So yeah. G-Way all day, every day, Bullet Club go. MJF fans hate me, but I don't give a goddamn care.
How dare you?
Reezy, who you voting for?
Yeah, I'm lost.
The main event, MJF versus Jay White.
Well, of course MJF's gonna win, even though he shouldn't. But yeah.
Take that, Leroy.
He just didn't want to say that.
Yeah, so of course
He don't even know where the hell he's at right now.
How dare you?
He voted for Obama. Leave him alone, right? That's what I just heard. Chris, who you voting for? Chris, who do you got in this match?
Oh yeah, I already gave my lock. It's still bet the house.
All right.
MJF retains.
That's okay. That's okay.
Chris
Carlos
like,
was zoned out.
Roy Brown.
I was just going in order, okay? Excuse me. Oh, you don't go to the bathroom again, John, for the 20th time? Oh, you're still here? Okay, good. John, who do you and Chris have?
Christopher has MJF, and I'm going with MJF too. I think with the build of Samoa Joe and Wardlow chasing after MJF, I think obviously it's clear we're going to see one of those two go for MJF next. So pretty obvious MJF retains.
And this would not be an LNA moment for me, as I will be going for MJF on this one as well, especially with the pay-per-view being next month in New York.
You rat bastard.
That rat bastard again. For me, I personally, again, if I was having this, I'd eventually have Darby Allin beat him for the title. That's who I want to see him dethrone him if it's not going to be Wardlow. But yeah, I don't see this happening yet. I see MJF still being champion again. They're going to New York. They got to sell out that arena. They want to finish the year strong. So I too see MJF winning this match. Sorry, Leroy.
I don't care. I still keep that same energy. I fucking still hate.
No. I mean, I want to bang him too, you know. So you know that does go into consideration.
I just you have horrible taste in me, and I'm just like, just like horrible taste. You want to bang both of the Maxes? Come on, like you can't even
Max and Max, exactly the two Maxes.
Yeah, you can't even like. I would be like, if you said Jay White, I would be like, all right, he got the accent, all right.
My own version of Max Plus, you know. Come on.
Just, oh my god, like I'm not even talking about life, but in wrestling, I don't know your life things. When I say in wrestling, you got horrible in AEW. We'll just say in AEW because everybody wants a tribalism, right? AEW is and WWE this and don't even pick Impact Wrestling, you know. But yeah, just. Both of the matches. Come on now. You got have better picks than that. Come on now.
All right. Well, so does anyone else have anything you want to add to this? And again, I mean, Will Ospreay too, I think is going to be the major signing.
Do you like Will Ospreay too?
Yeah.
He's all right.
When it comes to Full Gear, Tony Khan's little tweet earlier this evening or whatever about that whole signing. I mean, I did see something about Ospreay is still signed. He still got some time, like I guess with New Japan. That could be the possibility, but I'm putting a lock into Mercedes Moné. But when it comes to MJF, this whole like whoever was saying about this whole build up with Samoa Joe and Wardlow and all them. I think the end game is at that World's End, MJF, if he drops the title, depending on how this whole devil reveal comes to play, Wardlow could get his. Who knows? It could be like a triple threat at World's End between Samoa Joe and Wardlow and MJF. And MJF could drop the title then because it's like 2 days before his supposedly contract running out or whatever. That can give more speculation of like what's going to happen with MJF from the future.
You okay there, buddy?
I just want to say, I hope you recovered. You coughing? I also want to say,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I also want to say, I'm gonna be like Chris. I'm gonna be a contrarian. Matter of fact, I'm a troll and just say I don't think it's neither or nobody. I don't think it's Mercedes. I don't think it's Ospreay. I think it's thanks to my friend Joey Janela who says congratulations to Jimmy Lloyd because I think Jimmy Lloyd, the different boy from GCW, just gonna pop up on everybody, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Who the fuck is that?" It's like I just want to see it, and this would be hilarious. And they'd be like, "Oh, I gotta do goddamn research. Why didn't you get this guy vignette? Why didn't you give him like 5 vignettes so we can know all about his backstory?" Because that's what we need, 5 vignettes. You just don't need one. You just need 5 vignettes. Because I wish they give him a whole.
I only need 4. Hey, I only need 4. Okay, so don't group me with those people.
Oh no, I'm not. We'll give you 4. We'll give you 4 vignettes, and they'll still be asking. We gotta have a backstory to who Jimmy Lloyd is. Just gave you like in 4 vignettes of who he was. Hey, he's this guy who wrestled all over the world. He is a man of multi-style. He's respected everywhere. Not only especially in his different communities, but he's the king of the scramble. He's one of the I don't want to say pioneers, but one of the standouts of deathmatch wrestling. As soon as they hear that, all the fucking fans are like, "Oh no, deathmatch wrestling! Oh, that's not wrestling! Oh, we hate this guy!" And just like
he's talking about you, John.
That's okay.
No, they'll just complain, and they'll just be like, "Yo, get him off our TV! We don't want to research stuff. You should tell us 4 or 5 stuff. We're lazy wrestling fans." I just want to see everybody complain. It'd be hilarious. I'm probably gonna have the best laugh of my life. Even that they gave you like 2 vignettes of where he was. That's just me trolling. That's just probably won't, but if it is, if that ends up popping up and I hear Jimmy Lloyd's theme song, Carlos, you've been to a couple GCW events. You've heard his theme
I know
song.
he is. I thought you were going to tell us that you're the big signing, Leroy. What the fuck? Thought you were going to give us a scoop tonight.
No.
God damn it.
Give me a live mic on TV. What you think? You think $1 billion Coney gonna give this wild card? Mike, come on now. They hey, listen, they didn't even give Joey Janela a mic, so I know they're not gonna give me a mic. Come on, man. They don't even give me TV time.
I mean, there's always the voice of the unknown.
Like, that would just be like, he will be like, oh, you know what? That'd be funny if motherfucking I get a call tomorrow. QT be like, yo, can you get all your stuff together, your Nest team shirts and stuff? I'm like, oh, word? I was like, okay, my shit packed already. I was gonna go to Alabama just to do some punk rock wrestling for Retro Wrestling. But all right, I'll follow LA. I ain't never been there. And I just pop out and motherfuckers be like, who the fuck is that? And some people be like, oh, that's Joey, that's Nancy Leroy from the Janela Zone, from the pandemic. It's 3 years later. His star died. Didn't his star die a long time ago? And he supposed to be on the Outlaw Macho stuff. Oh, the Cornets fans is gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be mad as fuck. I'm here for the violence. I'm here.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah.
No, Carlos, did you see all the commotion last night? I got a little bit of stuff stirred up.
Not you.
No, that I got blocked by Fightful.
Oh, I saw that. Where you were in the chat. The Kate said you were in the chat starting shit. So what do you expect?
Well, it all started. Yeah. It started with
Don't be in the chat when you're 5 drinks deep, dude. You should have better than that. Just
well, when Sean Ross Sapp blocked me, I tagged Fightful, and it started from there. And then freaking
they blocked you, goddamn.
All kinds of people from.
Hey, at least you got some good impressions out of it, you know.
Yeah, like about 50. Last I checked, like about 52K.
There you go. Look at the positives.
I just like to say, I see here, speaking of Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp, they played Doja Cat on AEW video before her concert, he says, because Sean Ross Sapp is probably a big Doja Cat fan. You know, so
they Fightful gave Lassie Leroy some love last Friday, so you know they're not all bad.
Oh yeah, that's what you told me. Yeah, and I went to go back and check it out.
Man. You need to go watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have beef with I'm not all these internet wrestling people. I don't have beef with a whole bunch of people. The only time I had beef with people was like people in wrestling. Like I try not to have beef with people on the internet. So, you know, people, if you have beef with me, maybe you need to go. In the words of Cameron Hawkins, maybe you need to go get you some bitches then.
Oh my gosh.
Get yourself some bitches, you know? Maybe you need to go get some binary pals out here. Maybe you need to go slide in some clubs, man. Like, hey, listen.
All right, guys. On that one, does anyone else have any closing thoughts? We got to close this out. I know John has to get to bed here pretty soon. It's past his bedtime. He probably is going to need to be rocked to sleep pretty soon. Anyone else have any closing thoughts before we close this out? Anybody? Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Again, we'll be back on Sunday at 3:00 Eastern, where we'll talk about the results and we'll talk about anything else going on in the wrestling thing. Again, I want to just thank you guys all for joining us today. Chris,
I have a question. So is the Survivor Series this weekend or next week?
Next Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
so
it's 3:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 3:30 Eastern time.
Oh, they started early?
No, our show on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're starting at 3 p.m. Okay, fair enough. I will be
3:30.
I will be on the road listening to you guys, and I'll probably pop in.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us, and I guess it's over.
over. Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decided this was over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
The Germans.
Don't be rat bastards.
You fucked that up, John.
No, you